Welcome to CyberCEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. CyberCEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. All right, another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of CyberCEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show right now. Justin, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking and for giving us your time. I know this is your second time here, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, we're very excited to get this interview with you. So let's get the show on the road. To let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are also business owners. So I need your help. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe starting off with, what's your role in the business, Justin?
I'm an individual agent working with buyers and sellers here in the city of Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley. So my role is basically, I guess you would say, the lead agent. I'm a one-man person or a one-man team, and I've got some virtual assistants through Cyberbacker.
All right. Now, how long have you been partnered with Cyberbacker, by the way?
It's probably almost about a year now. I think we hired our first hire sometime in April of last year, and then started officially in May. So it's just about a year now.
Okay, going for your first year. Now, did you ever have experience working with someone virtually before you got partnered with Cyberbacker?
A long time ago, when virtual assistants were not really well known, and it worked, but she ended up getting picked up by a Fortune 500 company, and obviously it was much better suited for that than me. So I've had a little bit of experience, but I would say very little by today's standards.
Okay, gotcha. Now, how did you find Cyberbacker? I'm curious to know, did you see us on social media or did someone refer you to us?
Someone referred me, Andrew Bloom. He recruited me back to Keller-Williams, and that was one of the first things he suggested is to get a virtual assistant to help with the business and the workflow.
So someone referred you to us then. Now, I'm also curious to know, what were the things that you needed help with before you got partnered with Cyberbacker?
It's just when you're a solo agent, it's constant interruptions. You're waking up and just going and not really getting anything done other than servicing the business. And so, nonstop tasks, showing properties, getting contracts typed up, doing a lot of the work that could be done by somebody else. In theory, that's what we've always been told. So I was doing everything and working a lot and, somewhat burned out. COVID has really just kicked everything into, high gear here in the United States with real estate. So it's been a very busy 3 years, 2 years, 3 years since COVID. Obviously, it was busy before, but COVID just made it that much busier, and a lot more things went into getting things done with COVID because of limitations on showing. So I was up to my ears in work, which is good, but ready to call it quits some days, just because your workload never stops.
Yes, for again the burnout that you mentioned,
yes,
because you were doing everything on your own. Now, how was the transition from running everything on your own by yourself, now having a Cyberbacker? Was it a difficult transition for you?
Well, I've told my virtual assistant and Cyberbacker, 𝗔𝗰𝗰𝗶𝗹, it's going to take you 6 months to a year to really understand me, because there is a system. As I guess everybody has their own systems, but my system is my system. So learning how I work is going to take some time. And we still have things that we're learning about each other, but it's been a good transition. It took probably, I would say, a good 3 months for him to kind of grasp the process of what to do every day, so that we could start the day off really well. And I'm enjoying it, and 𝗔𝗰𝗰𝗶 is integral in helping basically just take care of a lot of the little details that will slip through the cracks, and he's behind the scenes for me, which has been very helpful, and keeping things off of my plate so that I can focus on servicing the business and going out and dealing with clients and not having to worry about coming home and staying up all night to catch up.
Yes, I believe that's something that's normal, especially when you're working with someone virtual, because you're gonna build on the relationship first for a few weeks, even for a few months, right? Once you get it going, everything's gonna be fine, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, how has your cyberbacker, Jerson, leveraged your business, Justin?
How has he leveraged my business? It's really a lot of the things that most consumers probably wouldn't recognize, like scheduling showings, getting my calendar and my emails checked every day so that I know what I'm doing before I get up. So he's leveraged the business in the fact that when I get up now, there's a lot of things I don't necessarily have to even think about. It's just he's checking my emails. He's pointing out the things that are important or should be paid attention to, and letting me know what is ahead for the day. Like this morning, 8:45 a.m. Good morning, Justin. You have a CE or a Cyberbacker podcast at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I've got two other appointments later on this afternoon that are business related, and then one personal. So it's like, okay, I've got my agenda in front of me, so I know what's important. So it's nice to have that second set of eyes on, all the things that need to get done or are coming for that day. So he's definitely leveraging me or helping me leverage in not having to worry as much about, oh my gosh, did I forget something? That's been a really big one for us.
So basically, he keeps you accountable for everything. For example, your daily tasks, things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, of course, before you got partnered with Jerson, you went through our hiring process, right? So how was the hiring process for you? Was it difficult? Was it easy?
It was fairly easy, a little different than hiring somebody here in the States, because I've done that before, but fairly simple, I would say.
All right. What was the most exciting part about the hiring process, though?
Just knowing it was getting done. That's something I've talked about for many years, because I did have an assistant before here in the States. And I would say she was somewhat of a virtual assistant because of her health conditions. She wasn't able to go out and meet with people. And so we had an arrangement that she worked from home. So it was almost like a virtual assistant, but then she got sick and then COVID. And it was just, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but it's been a tremendous help having somebody behind the scenes helping me with the workload.
Of course, especially someone who's keeping you accountable for everything.
Yeah. Just reminding me what needs to get done.
Yeah, on a daily basis, right? Now, how about the training? Did the training that we gave Jerson help you save time?
Yes, that's one of the reasons Cyberbacker was the first choice, only because, I don't know Craig Goodliff very well, but, I went to something maybe about 6-7 years ago when he was talking about virtual assistants. And I still have his notes. And it was like, okay, this is a guy who kind of gets this pretty well for that era and that space. And, I've talked to other realtors who have used virtual assistants, but really not most of the companies, but the companies that they've endured or dealt with, it's really their headhunters or recruiters that are just trying to find people to fit. And then they make an override on their side. And as realtors, individual agents, I would say we're horrible trainers. We're not the type that's going to sit down and show somebody how to do things. It's just like, figure it out, let me know, and figure it out. So it's definitely been integral in helping keep Jerson learning what the processes are with a lot of the nuances of real estate, like DocuSign, zip forms, logging into the MLS, understanding some of these things. And then, of course, as we've been communicating over the last 11 months, now he doesn't even really, I don't have to say a full sentence. I can say, Jerson, here's the address, send me the MLS sheet. And he knows exactly what to do, what format, because we've done it so many times now. So yeah, it's definitely been integral that Cyberbacker is training behind the scenes for us, because without that, I'm sure it probably wouldn't have worked as long as it's gone so far.
So here's Cyberbacker, just to let you know, of course, the training doesn't stop during the start of the relationship. It just continues going every week, every month. We have new things to teach our Cyberbackers, of course, for the benefit of our clients. Now, I have a quick question. Would you say that hiring a Cyberbacker is a significant investment for your business?
As far as, monetary, or just in the sense of the word, a significant investment?
Yes, in just the sense of the word.
Yeah, because you're for some people, and I know I've had this question come up a lot with people that have asked me, like, who are you working with? How do you trust them? How do you know they're not going to, steal your information? That's a big one for a lot of us, because, we do have a lot of private and personal things that we have access to for our clients, as well as our logins for a lot of different places. And, I've just said you kind of have to trust until proven otherwise. So we have, 𝗔𝗰𝗰 has pretty much access to everything inside of our business platforms. And, I know that his best interests are aligned with mine just because we've been working together for so long, and that trust is there. So I hope that's answering the question, but it's definitely, he is an extension of me, is what I tell people. And, I introduce him in group chats now as he's not my virtual assistant, but he's my administrative assistant, just because it sounds better. Versus, because the minute people hear virtual, they go, oh, it's overseas, and they have their own thoughts about whatever that is, positive or negative. But I just let people know, hey, this is somebody that's working with me. He's going to help coordinate some of the showings and scheduling, because I'm not always in front of this or in front of the screen. I'm with clients. So it's definitely been a great experience. And the investment itself is monetarily, I would say, insignificant, depending on where an agent's production is at. I know if I were to hire somebody of 𝗔𝗰𝗋's caliber today here in the US, it would probably cost me 3 times the amount minimum. And so it's been a significant investment in my time and work. But from a monetary standpoint, best bang for my buck, I would say, because I can hire, another person in the future without, oh my gosh, how much is it going to cost me? Not to say it's cheap and not to say it's expensive, but it's definitely worth every dollar that we spend.
Yes, worth every penny that you invest in your Cyberbacker, of course. Now, what's the best part about Cyberbacker, Justin? Right now, you've been with your Cyberbacker for almost a year, right? So what's the best part about Cyberbacker?
I've done some homework now, because we are actually hiring. I know we had a little situation with that person's family situation, so we're looking for a new Cyberbacker. But it feels like there's a community, because I'm all the way over here on this side of the world, and 𝗔𝗰𝗋's over here, and I know that we don't do our huddles as often as maybe he does with the Cyberbacker community. So the fact that there's a camaraderie, I think, amongst a lot of the people that work within Cyberbacker and the support, it definitely helps me feel good, because I know that I'm not filling that role of the leadership right now, because I'm by myself, and there just isn't the time to do so until I have maybe 4 or 5 people working here in the States and staff overseas. That leadership role has been taken off of my plate and handed over to Cyberbacker, which makes me feel very confident, because it gets lonely, as I tell people, sitting in a computer at home, and that's what I do here. You're not around people, and sometimes having that place to go to, or that community and that training and that those on-call meetings that you guys have from time to time, it definitely helps me feel at ease that, okay, I know I'm not doing some things that I would want to do if it were left all to me. But Cyberbacker's got my back from that standpoint. So that makes me feel really happy in adding additional team members to Cyberbacker, which is what we're in the process of doing now.
Gosh, that's very exciting. Creating your own Cyberbacker team. And what you mentioned, that us having your back, we will always have your back, of course, no matter what it is, we'll always have your back, Justin. Now, we've been talking about 𝗔𝗰𝗋 for a while now. Would you want to give him a quick shout out or any message you'd like to give out on the show today?
Hey, 𝗔𝗰𝗋, I appreciate everything you do. I know we talk about it all the time, but I really, really do appreciate it. I know when he first came in, there was a lot of stuff that he had to learn. And, it's still going to continue to change as time goes on, but it's been a complete pleasure and joy having him on our team. And I hope he feels the same way.
Yes, we are very, very excited to see where this partnership would be in the next few years to come. Justin, thank you very much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of CyberCEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.